to delve into how the choices of these places and the decisions to begin trials works out internally within these companies? Do they have brokers or people that are out there scouting communities that they can utilize? Are they giving bonuses to their various middle-level managers to find places where they can do these trials? How does it work?
That's a great question, and we did not get as deep into that as we wanted, but I'll tell you what we did find. One of the greatest changes in the whole clinical trials field, both in this country and abroad, is the emergence of these, what we call a clinical trials industry. It's the privatization of this process. It's been another step in the whole movement toward sort of free market medicine, where they put the profit motive into this part of it. In the past, so many of these clinical trials, both here and the few that were abroad, were conducted by very often academic institutions, medical schools that conducted these. Increasingly, in the last 10 to 15 years, you've seen the emergence of this whole new industry, profit-making companies that take the jobs from the pharmaceutical companies, and they say, we will set up a clinical trial for you in India or China or someplace in Africa or Kazakhstan, a rural area of Romania. We will find the people, we will find the doctor who will conduct these tests, we will pay them, you pay us in return. Then they render those results back to the pharmaceutical company. Now, we did not find immediate direct evidence of this, but you don't have to be a rocket scientist here to figure out that if you're in the privatization business, you're in the clinical trials business, you certainly want to deliver as favorable results as possible to the company based on those trials you've conducted, or else I suspect you're not going to get any new jobs in those places in the future. So the whole emergence of this has put the profit motive into this segment of healthcare and medicine, and it's really not healthy, because what you really need is an issue of science here, not people, not hedge funds, not private investors trying to make a buck on this process.
I just want a quick correction. I think you said Arizona when you meant to say Argentina, the testing of synflorix.
Thank you very much.
Finally,
absolutely right.
We're going to be going on to Sid Wolfe of Health Research Group, who also has just released a report today. But the remarkable figure that you have, what is the number of, in 2008, the FDA visited only 45 of 6,485 locations where foreign drug trials were being conducted. 45 of them, close to 6,500.
0.7% of the total foreign trials. I mean, so even if there were the regulations, even the little bit they do doesn't go very far. And of course, this is going to become a greater and greater problem, because we don't fund government in any of its phases in this country in many cases. And they have not funded the FDA in this particular area. The other thing involved here is when in foreign trials and in foreign manufacturing of drugs, the U.S. inspectors need to get the approval of these foreign governments when they go into these places. And you can imagine what happens there if somebody is tipped off, if you know somebody's coming, what kind of a normal inspection do you get there? So, and Joe Stevens mentioned this earlier, the U.S. is losing control of this process, and in many cases there's not a whole lot they can do on this, but at the bare minimum, they at least need to have a registry, they at least need to know where these are, and they at least need to step up the inspections that they can do. But right now there's absolutely no recognition of what a severe and really dangerous problem this is.
Jim Steele, I want to thank you for being with us. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist wrote with Don Bartlett the latest piece in Vanity Fair called Deadly Medicine. When we come back, we continue on this issue of drugs with Dr. Sid Wolfe. Stay with us.